What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video, the channel where we talk about stimulus check updates that's not too boring, not too crazy, just right in the middle. Okay, good, easy, digestible, fun information to get you guys informed for today. I apologize that yesterday I did not put out a video. I got a couple messages saying, Brian, where's the updates? What are you doing? I figured yesterday there weren't too many real important updates to come out with, so I didn't post anything yesterday. But I'm realizing a lot of people just want to conversate or just talk or listen. So we'll still put out videos regardless if there's any updates or not, except Sundays, because Sundays I rest. But I just want to say thank you guys all so much for tuning by another video. Definitely has been a pretty crazy, I would say, quarantine adventure. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing is to watch these videos 10 years down the road and just think, if we're all still alive by then, just think how crazy some of these times actually were. I hope you guys have all been having a really good and awesome week so far. Today is Tuesday. Let's get started with this video. So when I wake up, and this is not a sponsored video by Morning Brew. They actually did try to sponsor a video a long time ago, but I was like, and I took too long ago, and they just never did it. So this is pretty much a morning newsletter that gives you the most important news. It shares with you a lot of things, like the stock market, how it's doing, some of the most important things like the economy. We got our homeboy Elon Musk up in here, and in 5 minutes, easy read, you can just get caught up to date every single day on what's going on. So if you guys want to check out Morning Brew, check it out down below, because they got this program where if I refer 5 people, I can get a sticker, and those are some pretty cool stickers. And also if I refer 1,000 people, I get a trip to HQ. I don't think it's happening right now because we're not really supposed to be flying, but who knows? Maybe one of my videos will go viral and I'll be able to have a chance to go to HQ for Morning Brew. Imagine if it's just the tiniest, imagine if this is all in someone's basement. I would still be down, as long as I'm not going to get sick. One of the first sentences we got is, when an athlete gets hurt, all they think about is the timeline for getting back on the field. The same goes for an injured economy. How long will it take to recover? And I feel like this right here is the question that is on everybody's mind, regardless if you're a teacher, if you're self-employed, if you work a corporate job. The question is, how long will it take for things to actually recover? Because the state of our economy is really going to dictate a lot of things that go on in our day-to-day basis. As I do more research, I'm seeing things like groceries are increasing in price, milk, eggs, things are slowly going up right now. And it's definitely a crazy time, especially if you're someone who wants to make money, prosper, and do well in this world. So we're going to go down. It says probably years. Economists were hoping for a V-shaped economic recovery, a rapid slide down followed by a quick climb back, but many are scaling expectations back to a Nike swoosh-shaped recovery in which output may not return to pre-pandemic levels until late 2021 or later. And that is crazy because I was hoping things were going to go back to normal by 2020. So there are so many different opinions out here, and even with an opinion like this, no one actually knows what's going on. Unless you are from the future and you have come back in time to spread the good news, you will not be able to tell the people exactly what is going on. But based on evidence right now, it seems that they keep on pushing back the recovery road. President Trump recently had an interview where he said that for the quarter 3, originally back months ago, we were saying quarter 3, quarter 4, things are going to go back to normal. It's going to be good. Now it's actually getting pushed back to a point where quarter 3 is looking to be our transition, our recovery, and still, not out of it yet. And then quarter 4, we are trying to be optimistic that quarter 4 is going to be where we start to return back to the levels that we were before all of this craziness started happening. This article continues by saying recoveries don't happen evenly. A recession's full effect can take years to ripple out. The Great Recession technically ended in June 2009, yet bank failures peaked in 2010. And as late as 2013, state and local governments were still slashing jobs. 81% of small businesses think COVID-19 could impact them for 12 to 16 months. By some estimates, half of small businesses could fold within 6, and laid off workers could require years to find new roles. That is truly terrifying right there, because a lot of people were optimistic at the fact that the layoffs that were occurring right now are temporary. They're not the same layoffs that we've seen in the Great Depression or different times in history when we've seen our economy take a plunge. The worst thing I feel like that could happen is if all the temporary things that are going on right now is actually an illusion for permanence. And that right there, that's a scary part. We're seeing unemployment rise higher than ever. We're seeing a new generation of people growing up in an area where this may be the new normal for them. And we're seeing more articles, more people saying that we may never even return back to a new normal. This article continues to say one worrying trend, more businesses are moving to permanent layoffs as they close factories and reduce operations. Manufacturing, which never returned to pre-2008 levels, is especially vulnerable between 2010 and 2019. The sector added 1.4 million jobs in April, and it's lost 1.3 million in temporary layoffs. The Becker-Friedman Institute predicts that 42% of layoffs will be permanent. Yeah, YouTube is a great opportunity, I feel like, for a lot of people if they want to start a hobby or if they just want to make this thing like a full career path. But it's times like this when it's pretty difficult to make videos because I'm trying to find a lot more optimistic information. I love when we hear news about stimulus checks or people getting stimulus checks and the comments are, yes, I'm getting it. Yes, I'm getting it. Thank you so much. And it's all good news. Like, this has saved me and my family for this month. But when we're going through, I would say, this dry season of not the best news, it's tough as a creator in my situation because I want to be someone who's more optimistic and bringing that type of stuff. The more research I do, the more it weighs me down mentally, thinking about the reality of the situation of how long this may actually last. Now, I did find some good news, though. I guess it depends on the way you look at it. A lot of other states are actually looking to reopen this week, and it's causing a huge debate within the political house. And the debate comes down to this. A good example is, for anyone who hasn't kept up with the news, South Korea has actually done a pretty good job in containing the spread of the pandemic and the virus. Most recently, they've been having record days of like 0 infections, and they've been doing splendid. And all of a sudden, one person who happened to be infected went out to the clubs one night and reinfected everyone else in Korea. So a situation like that happening in Korea should really be an example of what may actually happen. If we see too many of these states reopening too quickly, this thing may not go away for a very long time. But the other issue, on the other hand, is none of this will matter at the end of the day because our economy could possibly shut down. So it's really in this middle line. I feel like we could get the best of both worlds. I feel like if we continue to practice really good social distancing, very high levels of like, yo, if anyone even like sniffles, like, you kicking them out of the restaurant. You maintain levels of high security and really just stay cautious about these things and slowly allow some of these essential businesses to open up. That seems to be what's happening. I don't want to say it's too early for businesses to do that just because people are out here starving. They cannot work. People need to get back to work. But if we open up too quickly, we can risk some more infections. And this is why the stimulus checks are just so important. There are many other options like increasing the value of food stamps and giving those out. And we're also talking about increasing the rate of unemployment. But every single option that seems to be proposed always has some type of caveat. When we're talking about food stamps, if we're talking about something like food stamps, this still requires a lot of people to go out to redeem it. And a lot of people may not actually qualify for food stamps. Think about this. Normally, you have to be making a certain like minimum or maximum level of money every single year in order for the government to be able to provide you with that. But we're seeing instances where people who are making $60, $70, even $100,000 per year who did not do a good job at staying disciplined with saving up their savings are now seeing a huge hit. It's easy for people to overspend. It's easy for people to get that car that they don't need or to buy that house that's too big for them. And times like this is why it's so important to have that type of savings account. Now, all this, there's no point in saying this because we're in the future. We can't say, okay, and bring that to shame. Moving toward the future, every single bill, every single proposal seems to have some type of caveat, except I believe stimulus checks. I feel like stimulus checks is really one of the best ways. Easy, quick cash money to the American people. I'm seeing another proposal too, logging in today, about a $5,000 loan if you sacrifice your Social Security and like future retirement benefits. I think that's whack. I think out of everything I've heard, this is whack. This is not even stimulus money. This is a loan for people to have, and then they're sacrificing their future livelihood. I can see where like the mindset comes from because the government obviously wants to save money. They want to get their money back, and if someone can survive now, I guess it won't matter 10, 20, 30 years down in the future when they actually have to retire, but it'll be crazy if something like this goes through, and I feel like it would be a very good resource for people to potentially have, but at this moment, The people do not need a $5,000 loan by sacrificing future Social Security. What people need right now is additional money. I'm still waiting on news to hear back from Congress and our politicians on whether or not there's going to be an update regarding our future stimulus checks. I'm hoping the $2,000 stimulus check does go through. I feel like that is going to be a huge help to the American people. And right now, with the way politicians are talking and the way they're headed, I still am very hopeful that we are going to get a second stimulus check. So for the people saying like, okay, we're not going to get it, please be just a little bit more optimistic and just stay tuned for any more updates. It's estimated that about 20 million people in the United States right now are not receiving their first stimulus checks too. So the first stimulus check round is not even over. A lot of us are talking about these second stimulus checks because a large majority of people have received the first ones. But keep in mind, 20 million, that's not just a couple people. 20 million is definitely a good amount that still have not received anything. So I have not forgotten about you guys. If there are any updates regarding that, or we hear that everyone is getting it, everyone has gotten it, I'll definitely say that on this channel and let you guys know. But moving forward into the future, at least for this week, I'm just crossing my fingers to hear about more proposals that are progressing. One thing I can say for sure within our country is that although we are, the United States, like we're supposed to be united, there seems to have always been this divide, whether it's among the people, whether it's among, past things in history, or whether it's things during the current moment now with our politicians, with Republicans and Democrats. And for the first time, and this is where I hope that this whole pandemic is actually going to be like a blessing in disguise, is that it really does bring community together. It does bring a lot of people closer together. I don't know if this is going to happen yet. I don't know if we need to see total chaos and destruction before we get to that point, but that's really what I am hoping for. Even when I go out on my morning runs, people are like avoiding each other left and like skirt like out of the way. Like people don't want to be anywhere close to each other. There are people who don't care at all. There are people that I feel like are trying to walk into me. It seems to me what's happening, especially with the news and the people and how people are all afraid of each other now, the divide is getting even more like that. That's what I'm predicting. And I really hope that changes. I really hope that communities come together, governments can work together so they can help out the people in need. And this is pretty much a large majority of the American population right now. So guys, that was my video just talking about recent updates regarding the whole situation. I hope that you guys are all staying safe out here. I know it can get quite boring not doing much at home. I know some people are going crazy. I'm seeing articles too on like how to survive a quarantine session because it is crazy to just stay at home for the next 3-4 months. Humans, we're made to be social creatures. That we're too complex of people to just be isolated and alone for long periods of time. This is why I believe prison and punishment is the way it is. It's social isolation for the most part. Yeah, man, guys, keep up with people, stay active in these communities, and try to get some fresh air, okay? I'll let you guys know if there's any more news. Thank you guys all so much for the support. And the Webull promotion on getting 2 free stocks has gone away, but you can still get 1 free stock. That could be valued up to $1,400. So if you guys want to check that out, don't forget to sign up for Webull down below. I will have other additional affiliate links that will give you guys free money, free sign-up bonuses, free things like that if you guys are interested at all. But like always, don't forget to drop a like on this video, drop a like down there, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Peace out, thy people.